Sam Wilson is Captain America. Now that that's established, let's find out what our new Star-Spangled Man is getting into in the penultimate chapter of Marvel Phase 5. The first ever Porter Report movie review is coming your way right now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Porter Report. My name is BJ Porter, and I hope everybody is having a marvelous day today. For those who have returned from our previous videos, thank you so much for coming back, and if this is your first time here, welcome, and we hope you enjoy everything that this video and channel has to offer. Guys, I am super excited about today's video because I am officially premiering the first ever installment of Porter Report movie reviews. Like all of my previous videos, the purpose of all of this is to get you excited about reinvesting in the theatrical experience again. Given that this channel is mainly movie focused, I'm planning on having this series be the heart of the channel by using it to express my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the films that I see and enjoy and those that you do as well. And I honestly can't think of a better movie to kick this off with than the one we're about to talk about. Today I'm giving you guys the official review for Captain America: Brave New World, directed by Julius Ona and starring Anthony Mackie, Giancarlo Esposito, Danny Ramirez, Tim Blake Nelson, and the legendary Harrison Ford. I think I've stated enough times on this channel that I'm very excited about this movie. Marvel has made it very clear that this is supposed to be a throwback to their original recipe book, as this film mirrors the tone and style of older MCU entries, specifically Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And given that that movie is one of my all-time favorites, that is definitely music to my ears. Needless to say, there are a lot of expectations on this movie to really start putting the final pieces in place as the culmination of the multiverse saga fast approaches. As the first of 3 MCU movies to drop this year, the question going in is, will this political thriller be a sign that Marvel is back to form? Or could it be a sign that more repair work has to be done? Well, I think it's about time you get my thoughts on the matter. So without further ado, I'm excited to present to you the signature segment to the channel. Here's the official Porter Report movie review for Captain America: Brave New World. The world as we know it has changed. Circumstances that have transpired over the past few years have put the planet in a place of uncertainty that many are unable to predict. With all these unknown variables, many are trying to find their way in these ever-changing times. One of the individuals doing his best to navigate this the most is Sam Wilson. Now the official holder of the Captain America mantle, Sam is doing everything he can to be the best representative of Steve Rogers' legacy and to a world that is still healing from the aftermath of the blip. In an attempt to rectify the bad blood from the past and to carve out a better way forward, Sam is summoned by Thaddeus Ross, now the newly elected president of the United States, to form a partnership to reestablish hope in a changing nation. While Sam is intrigued by the proposition, Ross's track record gives him pause, especially considering his stance on enhanced individuals. The path to peace soon becomes deadly and muddy following a series of violent events that send the governmental and political powers at play into a violent tailspin. Now facing powerful and dangerous forces in the shadows and at the forefront that are beyond Sam's understanding, and even that of President Ross, Sam must rise to the occasion to stop a brewing underground conspiracy and confront a shocking new adversary that could potentially have the world seeing red. As the Marvel Cinematic Universe approaches the culmination stage of its multiverse saga, all roads are leading to resolutions within the universe that will set the stage for what is to come. Captain America: Brave New World looks to shake the foundation of the Heroverse, while also being an engaging penultimate entry in Phase 5. After going on this high-flying journey with the new Star-Spangled Man, Brave New World is a fun ride from start to finish despite some bumps that keep it from ascending higher than it does. The MCU has had its fair share of tribulations these past few years, especially with the projects that have come out of Phase 5. Personally, I still consider Brave New World as one of the better entries in the batch that offers a lot to be excited about, but the movie still leaves more questions than answers regarding where things are going as the culmination stage of the current saga draws nearer. Let's dive into this a little bit more by talking about the performances, and there are plenty of flowers to hand out in that aspect. It truly is great to see Anthony Mackie in the leading role as Sam Wilson. Watching how this character has progressed and changed throughout his time in the MCU is such a fist-pumping moment, not just for the character, but also for the actor who was instrumental in bringing him to life. Wilson, and in many ways Anthony Mackie, truly makes his mark as the new Captain America as he navigates situations and circumstances in a way that is authentically him, yet still maintaining the essence of the mantle that Steve established when he was wielding the shield. If 2021's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was about Sam accepting the responsibility of the mantle, Brave New World shows him fully embodying the mantle and becoming his own unique version of the Star-Spangled Man. While Mackie is an obvious standout, the rest of the ensemble is equally strong. Despite following in the footsteps of the late William Hurt, Harrison Ford managed to do something I didn't think was possible with the character Thaddeus Ross, and that was make him sympathetic and vulnerable. It is well known how much of an antagonistic force Ross can be, especially given his past escapades in the MCU. But despite all of his tactics and deceitful dealings that have resulted in the suffering of many people, Ross's arc in this film is trying to commit to changing in a way that allows others to see past his mistakes and see a man willing to do the work to be better. The forces at play use his vulnerabilities to their advantage to literally bring out the worst in him, but knowing how much he wants to improve is a welcome sight and adds layers to the character that were never seen there before. Ford does an incredible job of showing the vulnerable side of Ross, while also masterfully encapsulating the unhinged version of him both in his human form and as his big red alter ego. I'm looking forward to seeing what Marvel does with this character moving forward and how his actions in the film will impact future entries in the Heroverse. As for the other members of the cast, the film actually does a great job of making sure everyone gets to do a lot with what they have. Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley is just as much a standout in this film as he was in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Despite still maintaining the slight justifiable cynicism that has been at the center of the character's essence, it was great to see him be more emotionally open and lighter, but in a way that can only be achieved by getting a chance to have a life that he was denied for so long. Lumbly's performance continues to showcase why Isaiah Bradley is one of the greatest new additions to the MCU. While we're on the subject of new additions, Danny Ramirez is a ton of fun to watch as Joaquin Torres, aka the new Falcon. Given a lot more to do this time around, Torres' arc is about him learning to be a hero in a way that isn't reckless. The film sees him going to high heights, only for him to in a sense be brought down to earth in a way that will hopefully make him a better hero moving forward. Ramirez is such a great addition to the MCU roster and I'm excited to see where he pops up next. Despite his limited screen time, Giancarlo Esposito is fun to watch as the ruthless and unhinged leader of the Serpent Society, Sidewinder. The aura and tension he brings to scenes through his dialogue and action sequences make him an engaging antagonistic force despite how little he appears in the film. And while it was fun to see Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns again, his overall impact as the villain did leave a lot to be desired despite his motivations being justifiable. The one thing I will say when it comes to Brave New World is that it does continue a trend that I continue to see as problematic, and that is the investment factor for those not 100% tuned into what is happening in the MCU. There are a ton of characters and character moments that occur within the film that may not have the same impact on you as it does for others if you haven't been following the continued progression of canon. This has been an issue with other MCU entries including Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and 2023's The Marvels. The amount of prerequisite knowledge required to make some of the film's impactful moments hit better has been something that at times I feel does expand the universe but at a cost. This is something that I feel will continue to be an issue, but I'm hopeful a solution can be made to fix it later on down the road. Despite some of the other glaring issues that hold the film back, including a couple of huge missed opportunities to capitalize on highlighting some deeply layered and nuanced political and social concepts, the film is not short on spectacle with a number of action sequences really making it worth the price of admission. The battle at Celestial Island, as well as the battle between Sam and Red Hulk, are the obvious standouts in the film despite most of their best moments being shown in the marketing. The film seems more focused on delivering popcorn thrills than being deep and thematically nuanced like the previous Captain America films or even The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It will be interesting to see if the occurrences in this film actually have more of an impact on the growing Heroverse than what has been shown. Despite all of the highs and lows, Captain America Brave New World is still a high-flying thrill ride that is worth the price of admission, but there is a lot more that could have been done to really make this entry in the MCU more of a forward-thinking game changer. The flight was good and exciting to be sure, but the obvious turbulence kept it from really hitting the heights we've seen other Marvel fare reach in the past. As I mentioned, the film is worth the price of admission for the spectacle it puts at the forefront. That said, the film doesn't quite hit the same heights that one expects from this particular pocket of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The bar for these politically laced MCU entries is pretty high thanks to Winter Soldier, Civil War, and even The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But in the end, if all we got out of this was a fun action movie with Sam Wilson fighting the first Savage Hulk we've seen on screen in nearly a decade, hey, who am I to complain? It was a fun ride nonetheless. And with that, the time has come to throw it over to you guys. Sound off in the comments below your thoughts on Captain America Brave New World, but be mindful of anything that could potentially be seen as a spoiler. On a personal note, I sincerely want to thank each and every one of you for the support you've given me since the start of this channel. I'm continuing to grow and learn every single day, and it's only going to make myself and the content I deliver to you guys moving forward all the better. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to stop on by. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of their day, and until the next review, I'm BJ Porter, and this has been The Porter Report.